What up, folks? I'm Ultrazilla, and today I have a review of the Transformers comic version Grimlock. That's right, my zillions. We have yet another Grimlock, and the Grimlock just don't stop. But what we have here is Grimlock, the studio series Grimlock in comic book colors. There is also a Shockwave that I do have. I haven't reviewed yet. And another character, a little known character called Straxus. If you're a fan of the old Marvel comics, you know who he is. I do not have Straxus. He is, I don't know if he's out yet. But I didn't pre-order Straxus. I might still get Straxus. We'll see when the time comes. But this is Grimlock, who you guys know I love. It does have a little window. There's a little, little Dinobots there looking all cool. And there is a Grimlock. Now, this is especially interesting right now because we're getting sort of another Grimlock variant in the very near future. As you might have seen in my community post earlier this week, they're doing a Godzilla crossover with Transformers. We're going to talk all about that in the Ultra Z news and my feelings about it and all of that. But there is a sort of Godzilla, sort of a Grimlock variant coming out, which sounds good in theory, but we'll see about that. But I figured now is the perfect time to do this, so to give all of you Godzilla fans maybe, because we Transformers fans know what we're talking about here with Grimlock already, like our third or fourth time around here. But, you know, maybe some more Godzilla fans will look at this wanting to know more about this mold. So without any further ado, let's get to the review. Here's our Grimlock out of the package, and he is pretty cool. But before we get to him, let's take a look at the accessories. First up, we get 3 swords, none of which are his. These are various Dinobot swords. They are done in this kind of like matte red, and they feel kind of rubbery, which is odd. But the sculpts are pretty good on them. Now, between this release and Swoop, we now have all the swords. However, again, very odd. It's a different color red, and it's the material is different. These are more almost rubbery. They're not rubbery, but they're a very different plastic. This is like a nice rigid plastic, and you can hear it's just different. I mean, I don't know what the thought process was there. I mean, I'm glad we got all of the Dinobot swords because I think it's so awesome that Dinobots have swords, but it's very strange in my opinion. Now, this is, I believe this one here, the biggest one, is a Grimlock sword from the Swoop figure, and that's how it looks on him. And that's pretty awesome. You know, I'm glad to have this match this. However, I think this is closer to this color than this color is to that color, if that is a thing that you're looking at. But strange that they didn't make all the swords the same color. I cannot tell you why, but that's what we got here. We also have a Grimlock's blaster, and this time it's done in a nice silver, which doesn't really go with him too much, but, you know, if you want to use his gun, you can, and that's how that looks. However, I'm gonna bring in our first comparison, and this is another variant, the G2, I believe, was it G2? Grimlock here, and you might notice this looks good with that, and vice versa. So I don't know. Does Hasbro do these things on purpose? I think they do. So you kind of get everything, because now that looks really, really good there, and this that matches his head looks good here. Lastly, we get Grimlock's crown, and this would just go on his head, and that looks pretty good. Though it is I mean, it's gold, and it's a gold crown, and it's cool. But I feel like this would go with the original Grimlock best, the original version of the mold. And which you probably would use it for that original version. So you're getting a lot of different accessories here for everyone but this Grimlock. But it's kind of cool. I do like this. I don't know if I had it even the right way. Was it the right way? Yeah, I think it was. This way is not fitting. So, pretty cool in gold. I do not have my other Grimlock transformed, and I'm not going to be doing that. So, you know, it's still cool to have. So, with accessories out of the way, let's start looking at the figure. First up, let's do the articulation. He can look down a bit, side to side with the head. Then you get the waist swivel. The shoulders move pretty good, ratcheted back and forth, which is awesome. You have a bicep swivel. You have a single jointed elbow, but it works very well. You have a swivel at the wrist. Now you can use, the transformation here to move in and out, should you wish. Then at the legs, you can get a full split. Yes, you can. And then this whole piece can move forward, and it can move back. And then you have a swivel at the thigh. You have a single jointed knee, but it works very well. And this opens up as a rocker. You do have pretty much like wings on the back and a Grimlock head. So you could keep these in any sort. I kind of like these up. I don't know. I always like the hands up. Gives it more of a super robot look. So, yeah. And I gotta say, this is, wow. Is this, I have 3 of these already. So this is the 4th one, I believe. Because I didn't get the shattered glass version. But I do have now 3 others. So yeah, there's 4 versions of this, and that Godzilla one is going to be a 5th, though that one's a little bit different. Again, watch my Ultra Z News. So taking a look at Grimlock in full, I really love these colors. I mean, for those that have never seen any of my Grimlock reviews, the sculpt is great. Proportions are awesome. Like, this is a perfect Grimlock in robot mode. It's so good. Again, we got all of this stuff in the back. I consider it like super robot wings, which looks really good. There's a lot of nice molded detail. We'll look at it more in Dino mode, but pretty much it's awesome. You get diecast content on the butt. You get a lot of nice molded detail down the legs here, which look really good. On the sides, a lot of molded detail again on the legs. Check it out on the upper legs there. Really nice. On the front of the legs, very nicely done. I love this black paint. This is like the comic colors coming through. A little shading, both sides, looking real good. Very nice. I love how the front here looks. There's like a subtle, a little gray there, which looks really cool, like a dot pattern. Love that. That's awesome. Very nicely done. Again, that's the sides. That's the feet. Bottom of feet, not really doing anything, but there is molded detail within. Hey, that is cool, right? So, really nice legs. Krajiji section is pretty plain, but it looks totally fine. Then we're going up to the chest. You got the black paint underneath here. This is also paint, this yellow, which is a little bit different than this one, though, and as you can see, this is a little different than that. But the yellows look good. They're close enough. And then you got the awesome design work here, kind of shading in the blue. And then you got that dot pattern again up here and over here, which is awesome. I love it. That is so cool. So comic booky. I love it. Over here, you get it again. Did not realize that they were doing that, the Zipatone, and I love it. It looks fantastic. Wherever it is, it just like brings out a lot. The arms look awesome. Got the black there. Then you got a lot of nice molded detail all around. Black in there, black down here. These little claws just stick up. You got black over there. The fists are in blue this time, which looks great. These claw things are in yellow, which you can use them as, swiping claws, whatever. But the arms look fantastic, honestly. This is what the back of the arms look like. No paint on the back of the arms, but nice molded detail as well. You got nice molded detail on the side here, too. That's pretty cool. Love it. All of this looks great. All this detail is fantastic. The chest looks great. The Autobot symbol there in the middle is tempoed real well. And then the head sculpt is awesome. You have black around on the either side of the eyes, black up there. The eyes in red with a nice black outline. Looks awesome. And the blue head is fantastic. This might be my favorite Grimlock look for robot mode that we've seen thus far. You also have fully painted black inside of the body here of the Dino. So it looks like a really cool, like, you know, black when you see it from behind. They didn't have to do that, but they did, and that is awesome, guys. I love how that looks. And these, oh, I didn't say the articulation here, but these can articulate for, you know, even more of a, like, a winged super robot look. And I gotta tell you, that looks phenomenal. This is probably my favorite robot mode that we've got for Grimlock yet. And for your size comparison in this mode here is Grimlock with a bigger figure in Skylinks and a much smaller figure and a, you know, pretty brand new figure in the Studio Series Transformers 1 Optimus Prime. So you can see Grimlock's a good big leader class size. So with that all said, there's only one thing left to do, and that's transform and stomp out. Here is a Grimlock in Dino mode, and he's pretty cool. I mean, when you look at it on the back, he feels like he's a little plain, but then you look closer and he does have that like dot pattern here that was present. So it's kind of cool. I'm not sure I like all of this being on this side, but that's how, like, you know, light would reflect on it anyway, like, and create the shadow that way. So, this ends up being pretty cool. This ends up being pretty cool. You know, the chest stuff gets relegated to the bottom. And then you got that there, the blacks there. You got some of the black shading here on the tail. We're going, obviously, over this first. And then you got it on the neck, which actually ends up looking pretty nice on the yellow. And on his face, which looks pretty awesome. Like, really, really cool. All above the eye, it makes him look really mean. I love that. I love how that looks. Really, really nicely done on the face. I think that looks phenomenal. Really cool, very different looking for Grimlock. You do get screws on one side here. That's par for the course. But it's not bad. It's not bad. The red eyes look good. He's got the little gun in his mouth, which looks cool. The teeth are good. The sculpt work there is good. He's got the dot pattern here, which actually ends up looking awesome. I really like how that looks. Head sculpt is great. It looks really, really good. So neck looks awesome. I mean, now we'll look at it further. The arms are really cool. They're done in kind of like a pearlescent white this time. It might be the same as before. We're going to look at the original Grimlock shortly. But it looks pretty good. This is also that color. The chest here ends up with no color. I'm not sure if it has otherwise. I can't remember. Well, again, we're going to look at it. Then the legs look pretty decent. And I got, like, soap on this guy. Like, I had just washed my hands before transformation, and it's like all over this guy. I guess I didn't like rinse my hands good, but it looks pretty good. Not the soap, but the figure. I like it. You know, a little bit blue sticking out from there, a little red sticking out there. I mean, the Grimlock proportions on Studio Series. Got the dot pattern over here, which looks awesome, and over here. So you know what? The more you look at it, the more it's got, and that ends up looking really cool. So yeah, not bad. Actually, pretty good. The more I look at it, the more I'm liking it. Really, really nice. And again, if you haven't seen Grimlock in this mode, he's phenomenal. Like, this is one of the best Grimlocks ever. Really, really well done. Really awesome looking from head to toe. Proportions are awesome. I really like how he looks. He turns out amazing. He stands great. You could do that. You could stand him up like this, and as a future Godzilla mold, that's gonna look decent enough. Like, I mean, look, we're gonna talk about it, but this isn't bad. This isn't bad. This one for this figure looks pretty good. I do like it a lot, honestly. So very, very nicely done. Yeah, this is a cool Grimlock in this mode too. So yeah, I dig it. It came out awesome. Oh, articulation in this mode. The head moves like so. The mouth opens and closes. That turns. And then these move on ball joints at the shoulder. And then hinges at the elbow. Nothing in the wrists. Then the legs have like a soft ratchet going outwards. You have a turn here because of the arms. And then the knees do bend this way instead of the other way. And unfortunately, that's how it goes. But then the tail does not move at all. So, and the toes move. It's not a ton, but, it works for this. It works for this, for sure. Also, if you would like to store Grimlock's gun, again, I'm not keeping this here for this one, but you can store it on his back right here. There's two little slots, and you tab it in at those points. Now, do take note, Godzilla fans. This is sort of being used, I think, possibly as dorsal fin representation on the Godzilla one. So I don't know if that's the how it's going completely, but that's what it's looking like. And for your size comparisons, first up here he is with the original Grimlock, and this guy has got some cool stuff here. He's got the reds and he's got the golds. His face is a lot more plain. He's got the blue eyes, but that's the animation version, and the comic version is a little more mean. But they both are pretty good. That's what's different there. I love the colors here. This tail is opening up here. But I do like the dot pattern and the black on this one. The belly ends up looking like that for both. So, differences. And these arms are maybe a shade different. Nah, I think they're about the same. I don't know, actually. I feel like this is a bit lighter. So, a bit whiter, I should say. So, yeah. I mean, this is my favorite Grimlock, but this is pretty awesome. And for an additional size comparison, since we're talking Godzilla, been talking about it, not just Godzilla. This is the Hayatoys version, so you can see that this Grimlock is even bigger. Now, it does stand really well with the T-Rex Zord from Super 7, though, so it's going to be very interesting to see when we do get that Godzilla version, how it turns out, and, how it looks with certain figures. But here's a little preview. And of course, it wouldn't be a Transformer review without our trusty Optimus Prime. And my final thoughts, this is pretty excellent. I really like it. I'm not sick of this Grimlock. I'm not. He is such a great mold, and I just really like how he turns out. I don't even think I showed this, but you got black in there too, which looks really, really cool. I think this one turned out great, honestly. I really like all the accents they put on him. The blacks, the zipatone, all of it looks great. So really, really nice, different. It gives us more mean-looking Grimlock, and I really, really like that. So that's pretty awesome. I mean, I think, like, with that head, you could see where they could get, like, a little bit of a look of Godzilla in there. And I keep saying Godzilla, even though it's a Transformers review, but we were just revealed the Godzilla collaboration, and you know, I wanted to keep it in people's heads, and I wanted to show this one like that. So it's very interesting. It's a very cool looking piece. I really like this comic one. I'm not sure if it's still in stock at Hasbro Pulse, but that's where you're getting it. This is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, so do check for availability. If it is, I'll link it down below. And there you go. But it is really cool. I really like this version a lot. And there you have it, guys. That's my review. Hope you dug it. Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you're new to the channel, why don't you go and sub yourself for daily content. And let me help you diversify your collection with some Transformers. Till next time, peace out, peeps.